Good afternoon, morning, my dudes. It is Wednesday, which means it's Buzz Guide time. And this week we are doing a user requested guide. I did the cheapest gaming PC you could possibly hope to buy last week, within reason, something that I would actually suggest for general, pretty good, and actually into AAA 1080p gaming. And that whole system was like sub 14,000 Rand. So I've done something similar this week with a couple of upgrades actually over that machine, but it includes a full peripheral set. So you're going to get a screen, keyboard, mouse, headset, and a mouse pad as well. And I'm sure you're going to be surprised that I actually brought it home under budget. So starting off with the upgrade kit, it's just really good bang for buck, this upgrade kit, and it's basically exactly the same as the last build. We are going to be using the Ryzen 5 5500. It's just a good general 6-core 12-thread with 16 gig RAM, and then the B450, which has an M.2 slot over there, which is going to help us very much with our storage. For the graphics card, I've opted for the 4068 gig because it is on special right now, and it is just a little bit better than the RX 7600. You're going to get the ability as well to do some general streaming. If you wanted to stream like Counter-Strike and League and Dota and Val and the esports kind of titles, then this will handle pretty damn well for that. You're also getting 3rd gen tensor cores and a whole bunch of other nice little upgrades, including frame generation and DLSS 3. So that is the better technology right now, and it is about 900 Rand more than the RX 7600. So we just got to go for it. Then for storage, we've got the Clev Cras. It's a 1TB Gen 3 for 950 bucks. Bang for buck over here, cannot be stressed enough. I mean, it's cheap, it's cheerful, it's got a 5-year local warranty as well. No cooling on it, which would have been nice because our motherboard doesn't have a cooling slot for it, but I don't think that there's going to be enough heat in this build to cause it an issue, because we are going to be upgrading the case and cooling as well. For the power supply, these 850 watt bronzes are just a no-brainer. The 600 watts are 1,000 bucks. This is 1,200. So if you're going to upgrade and get a bigger GPU or CPU in the future, then you don't have to worry about that. And this will give more than enough power for this system. Now, speaking of that upgraded cooling, the NX410 is back at 1,050 bucks, and this time it's got two 140mm fans up front. So you're just getting a lot more airflow, and then you've got a 120mm at the back, and it does have clearance at the top for water cooling. So if you wanted to in the future get a 250mm rad for your water cooling, you'd be able to do that. It's got a nice swing arm. I've actually done a review on these, which I will pop out for you over here. But bang for buck being considered, these are very, very strong. Now for CPU cooler, we're going to do the Antec A400i. It's keeping in brand, which is something that I really like, but I noticed on this A400i, on the new one, this fan is from the new kits, from one of the water coolers, the Symphony, that I just tested, and they are a lot better than they were previous generation. Noise, airflow, etc. And this has direct copper heat pipes. As you can see over here, they are going to make a direct contact with the CPU. So for our Ryzen 5 5500, this is actually slightly overkill. This would probably be good for about 180 watt. So again, if you're going to upgrade later and throw in like a 5700X or something to that effect in the future, then you're not going to have to worry about your cooling at all. Moving on to the peripherals, we start with the monitor. Cooler Master's just knocking out of the park with this 100Hz VA with FreeSync Premium, which will work with the RTX 4060. You will be able to run it through that G-Sync controller, and that comes out at 2,300 Rand with a 3-year warranty. It's kind of nuts. 100Hz as well. It's just going to give you better input delay reduction and just make it feel a lot smoother. It's got a 1 millisecond response time. It is VA on 1080p, so you are going to get a bit of smear. It's just one of those things that happens with it. It is going to have very good contrast ratios though because of that, and this sucker is connected via HDMI and it's got VGA. So if you've got older machines or anything of an older type that you want to connect, then you'll be able to use this monitor on that as well. For the mouse, I'm selecting the Rosy 5 Ultralight because it's coming with the 3389. Okay, the Pixar 3389 was one of the best sensors that they ever made. It's got incredible tracking performance. If you look up that sensor, I think it's about 450 IPS and 50G acceleration. So it's not going to skip out at any point in time. It's got Omrons. It's basically a Model O. They've kind of copied the original Model O in form, function, and feel, and it's 74 grams for the mouse as well. For the keyboard, I picked basically the new Hermes E3. The Gumdius Hermes E3 60% was a fantastic little keyboard. And now with the Aura GK2, you get very cool like keycap layout. I really like the way this looks, and a lot of people are happy with gaming with a good mechanical 60%. 500 bucks for this is kind of insane, and they put generally pretty decent switches in these as well. They're looking at like a 50 million, and it's a red switch, and the whole keyboard is 519 grams. It's Type-C is connected as well, so if you do lose the cable, then it's easy to replace. Everything else you need function-wise is going to be on the keyboard. You can see the function keys, for instance, on the number keys, so you just hit the FN in the bottom right, and then you can have your function keys as an example. They've got the arrow keys over there. They've got some media keys as well, so it's nicely set up. Now for the headset, we want to spend just a little bit more money, and we're going with the Cooler Master MH630. I had the 650, which is basically just the USB version of these, and you'll be incredibly impressed, I think, with the mic quality, especially from these. The audio positioning, the comfort is all A-class. They've done a very good setup on these. You can see it full rotates on that side, plus then the poles on either side can tilt in as well, and it's got a nice big comfy headband. So for long gaming sessions, comfort does matter a lot. Sound quality on these is very, very good for the money as well. Then for a mouse pad, we're just going with the Evetech Splash. The other Evetech mouse pads are also about $199 if you want to get a different design. So it's an extra $100 on our total, which we'll show you shortly. But if you want to get something a little bit different, I know a lot of people like the Rocketman, Spaceman type vibe and the Luna as well. And it's going to be an extra $100 on what you're spending. And so, looking at your final cart with all of these things, with a full gaming PC, I mean, for 19,200 Rand. The request was for 20K, so we've come in slightly under budget. We've got upgraded cooling, we've got a slightly better case, a pretty good monitor with like I said, 100 Hz refresh rate as well. This is actually going to give you like even entry-level esports environment type setup, because the difference between 100 and 144 is not that far, especially if you look at the actual like milliseconds worth of delay and input delay reduction. It's much better than a 60 Hz, but yeah, a 144 could be better. You could upgrade that if you guys wanted to take this base platform and just take it up a notch. Really, the secret is getting a better upgrade kit or just a better processor. There is a 7500F, yeah, for 6999 with an entry-level motherboard. That's also pretty good, but honestly, above 5600 would be the kind of upgrade to this, and probably only about 1,500 Rand more. And then you'd still basically be on budget. So a full machine, right, with peripherals for 19,200 Rand. I think I did pretty well, chat. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And that is our full spec PC for 20,000 Rand, or actually less than that. Like I said, there's a bit of headroom there. Maybe look at getting another 2.5-inch 1TB SSD with the extra money, because it's $800 and they're about 900 Rand now for the Hikvision 2.5, and then you can have that as a gaming drive and keep your NVMe, your 1TB NVMe as like a main drive and stuff, and put some media and stuff on that. It's just incredible to me how cheap storage is these days, and yeah, they've kind of knocked it out of the park. They have Clever and Hikvision with very, very good cheap NVMe SSDs with 5-year warranties on them. Anywho, that's all I have for you on this one. I like this format. Please let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. And then next week, I will probably do one for 30,000. If you guys like it enough, then that's probably what I'm going to do in the next week. Until then, hope you guys stay safe. Keep well. If you've enjoyed this, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe. And I will see you on the flip side.